We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on Jalen Royals, Utah State wide receiver. And in this draft class, he's one of the more well-rounded prospects at receiver, like very balanced skill set. Really like his dense build, being like 5'11", over 200 pounds. Like this guy's almost built like a running back. He plays through contact really well, has like really good play strength and contact balance. And he's also a guy that's just can be like a 3-level impact threat. Like you can scheme him with touches. He can work down the field vertically. He has inside-outside versatility, solid hands. I think there's sometimes I've seen him struggle in like contested situations, but he can make adjustments, make some tough catches too. That's shown on film. Just want to see some more consistency in contested areas. But he can run some routes. He can create separation. Probably at his best with the ball in his hands, like working in those situations, underneath. And he makes people miss, and he runs through and plays very tough and physical, which I really like about his skill set, his toughness, physicality, and just definitely one of the more well-balanced guys. Like here, we get him in the slot, beating some man-to-man coverage, guys playing like a soft press, and then he just goes the distance, makes the first man miss. We'll go back, break this down a little more slowly. I think he does a good job with his releases. He doesn't, I think he had a pretty good Senior Bowl. He wasn't one of the receivers that was taking, 10 seconds to run his route. Like he was still winning a lot of his reps while getting into his routes quickly. This is a good example where, gives a slight little hesitation and then breaks the inside, catches the ball in stride, and now just turns into an immediate threat. And you can just see the shiftiness that he possesses to make just the next guy miss. And then has enough speed, he has burst speed, he has ability to just create big plays. He has big play capabilities in his bag. Here as he is working vertically, I do think he he can definitely do the vertical stuff, but I almost even think on the next level he's gonna do more the first play type situation where you get him aligned in the slot, allow him to go to work after the catch. But this stuff's great too. Another example of him, kind of slow playing. I like his route tempo. He's kind of gliding in his route, kind of freezing this DB, and then once he gets close enough, he hits that gas, accelerates, and then I love the ability to work through contact. As I said, he has a dense build, and he works through contact super well. Fights through a hold, continues to accelerate, catch the ball, track it, stay on his feet, make a nice hands catch, stay on his feet, become to get into the end zone. Some guys might not stay on their feet here, especially after working through the contact. Some people might be off balance. He's able to regain his balance very quickly, still maintain the speed, and then right here, a lot of guys would get tripped up. He didn't even get tripped up at all. That just shows you the body control, contact balance sort of thing that he has going on. That's such a big part of Royals' game. It feels if you look from the release to the route running to then, the next point where he's at the catch point to now then turning to a threat after the catch, all of those areas, which every receiver is going to you want to do. He doesn't really have a main weakness in any of them. I feel it's just maybe consistency and contested catches as the one main area. But even then, he'll still make some of those tough ones. There's a nice back shoulder. It's more of the route, though, versus another soft press. Love the foot fire. You can see some nice, twitchiness to his game. Gets this guy to work with... He hits that foot fire and then hits that stab with that right foot. Gets this guy to work that inside path. Now he has the outside path that he wants. Turn your head around. I locate the ball. See, starts to feel that the QB wants to throw back shoulder, so he makes the adjustment even early. And then shows body control. Good awareness, that type of thing. He's a pretty smart player. There's not too many holes in his game. I wouldn't say he's elite in many, he doesn't have elite traits, but he just has a lot of really quality good traits, which makes me feel pretty good about his translation and projection to the next level. Because he can also just work vertically, because a lot of times he's making plays on those, getting open quickly, making the plays after the catch, but the vertical reps definitely show up. Here's another little hesitation, foot fire. Get up on the DB, work through the press, work through the contact, and continue to fight, hand fight. You're in this position, and then late separation. He's working through the fight right there. Late separation to accelerate, stack the guy, track it in, and then he makes a tough one-handed catch. We'll see it from this angle right here. One-handed catch, making the tough catch in that situation. Love seeing that. Those are the types of things that make me feel good about his projection too, because I've seen some of the ones where he maybe just didn't look super comfortable, but being able to make those tough catches down the field definitely gives him a nice chance, because you can give him screen touches. He's great with the ball in his hands. Look at the left to right here, being able to work horizontally. He's a guy that has good acceleration, deceleration, big part of receiver's game. And like from basically no movement at all, like no momentum, look how quickly he just boom shifts to the side, breaks away, and is able to get that first down. Very, very impressed with those plays. I love the underneath stuff. It's just like look at him explode out of this from like no, pretty much as he's catching this, there's pretty much no momentum shift, and he's able to stick that foot in the ground. Look how explosive he gets to the outside, and look how he's quickly able to accelerate to get around that corner. Because some guys, a lot of people would pick up a first down there, but not every player. And then yeah, being a red zone threat, he can get open. Here he is making a tough catch. Doesn't even create separation, but able to track it in and make a tough catch. Like I'm showing you the ones where he did make the contested catches. It just wasn't always like that on film. It was just, there were plays where I would like to see him come down a little bit better. But playing at Utah State, it wasn't like he's playing top-notch competition the whole time, but that was where you got to see him at the Senior Bowl. But then even then, he was making tough plays. And sometimes even his quarterback wouldn't give him the ball. Like here's a good example where you get him lined up in the slot. I like the slot stuff. Like we see that he can play on the outside, be a vertical threat. Like that's part of his game as well. But get him in the slot. Look at him run a route, create that separation, give him like an option. Like look at the feet, man. He's so like dynamic and twitchy underneath, and it's just like boom, gives this little slide to the outside because this guy has outside leverage. Like this DB right here has outside leverage. Gives this little slide to the outside. It's very subtle, but you can see the slide with his stem is very subtle, but that allows him to get square with him. So him like sliding slightly to the outside gives him a square advantage, which gives him a two-way go. And then he shifts so hard his momentum to the inside that it moves this guy off his spot. And he breaks away, creates all that separation. QB's not looking his way, but there's a lot of those routes on film where like he just didn't get the target and he was open. He also be a guy that can be used in motion. You want to like, to me, like he's a slot. He can play, I feel like every receiver position pretty much. But like getting in motion to the outside, break on the slant, catch the ball, get upfield, fluidity. It's sort of like a basic thing. But he looks very comfortable, like off the movement, catch it. And you can just see like how able, like sometimes guys' momentum when they're working this way, he would get carried into these defenders very quickly. But I feel like he's got very like good flexibility in the lower half. He's able to change his momentum upfield pretty quick to maximize some yardage to make sure he gets that first down. His helmet comes off too. He's a tough player as well. Like he's definitely not afraid of contact, which sometimes like that's why I really like him in the slot, because a lot of slots are known for being like quick twitch route runners that are, a little undersized. While Royal can do some of the quick twitch route running stuff, he's also got the size and physicality while not necessarily having to, take away from the quick twitch stuff. Because sometimes you have the bigger slots that, you sacrifice the quick twitch so you have that bigger body like Juwan Jennings. Royal's not as big, but he's sort of in the in-between area where you get the sort of the best of both worlds without maybe being as elite as the other guys in the one sort of area, being like, super physical, super sized guy that can absolutely bully people, but he has enough to bully people. And then, not as small where maybe he's not as quick twitch, but he has enough quick twitch to still win. But then also can be a vertical threat. He has enough burst and speed. That's why I'm a big fan of Royal's sort of complete skill set as a player. I feel like he's just a solid day 2 receiver that's going to end up, and he's also one of those players that like, I feel like it's hard to mess him up. Like there's certain players in this draft that I really like, but they're very like scheme specific player, depends on what team they end up on. I feel like as long as Royals ends up with a quarterback that's not, the worst in the league, I feel like he's gonna have a pretty solid career in the NFL. So if you guys are doing it, like, comment and subscribe.